back again.
Come on, Ian, man. People deluded, I'm back again. Happy Tuesday, folks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and obviously in some cases, good night. Hope everyone's well. Hope everyone's safe. It seems like there's a Tonali twist. Tottenham hotshot seem to be taking a march where Tonali's concerned. He's still linked with us. David Ornstein has spoken about Alex Scott amongst other things with Arsenal. More targets allegedly have been revealed if you believe social media. And, you know, if it's not Fabrizio Romano or David Ornstein, I always say hand of Arsenal is the one I'm listening to. Now, he's spoken about Mikel Arteta's contract, etc., etc. There's a lot to digest. There's a lot to get into. Please make sure you're smashing the like button. Big up the silent viewers. Make sure you're participating. And as I've said, or if I at this moment, I don't know if I've said it, as you always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Later today, we'll be watching France against Senegal. You know, again, France have a great record where competition openers are concerned. I think the last time they lost was against Senegal. And I'm proud of the African sides and the Caribbean sides of how they've displayed themselves in the World Cup, man. You know, credit to Carousel for scoring against Germany. Big up Cape Verde for what they did yesterday against Spain. Rodri crying, etc. Haiti were unfortunate against Scotland. And, you know, for a tournament that's been marred with a lot of geopolitical things and away from the football, it's nice that we're actually being able to talk about the football, minus the hydration breaks. And you know what I find funny about the World Cup? The World Cup, everybody loves football, yeah? Everybody loves football. Football is an inclusive sport. It doesn't care what race, religion, background, country you're from. It's inclusive. Unfortunately, I do think, you know, a lot of the bigger nations, quote unquote, take a snooty view. And all this, expanded World Cup is going to ruin the quality. Relative, you know, the Haitis, the Cape Verdes, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, the list goes on. These kind of countries, obviously I hadn't said the best of examples, but these kind of countries have actually done quite well. It's the bigger nations that have actually let themselves down or let down the tournament, etc., etc., etc. So there's a lot to concern ourselves about. What do you lot making of the World Cup so far? Obviously, it's early days in the World Cup, and we have to rate as the competition progresses. But yeah, man, it's early doors, man. It's early doors. Smash the likes if you haven't. So yeah, man, we're gonna get into everything. Big up the Twitch gang. We might as well crack on, man. We might as well crack on. But first, people, you would see I've put a phone number here. Yeah, hear me out. Arsenal fans, yeah. Obviously, everybody tried to go to the Champions League in Budapest, right? Now, there's a former footballer for Arsenal called Bailey Spencer Adams. And from what I'm about to say, this might sound harsh, but I believe bad mind individuals and, you know, bad mind individuals never win, innit? There's a reason you got a long-term injury. There's a reason you got released by Leicester, Watford and Arsenal. There's a reason you're 24, you know, doing nothing really, trying to keep up with the Joneses. And by God's grace, the baller league thing that you got going on doesn't bang. Now, you would think being a professional footballer, being a public figure, you're not going to, I know times are hard for everyone, but you're not going to be a scammer. Now, actually, people were looking for tickets and they asked me to ask this Bailey, or whatever his name is, yeah. And you're lucky it's not my money. I'll crash you off, you know. But anyways, because he was tweeting about tickets. Long story short, let me read this thread, people. Scammer alert, ex-pro footballer, long by God's grace. Listen, I cheer for everyone, you know, but when you're a bad man individual, I pray for the worst for you, man. I hope you never kick a ball again. But anyways, ex-pro footballer Bailey Spencer Adams scammed me for 4 figures for a Champions League final ticket. He was vouched for by a mutual friend who gave me his number. Obviously, that's what I'm saying, where he's put the tweet out. He's obviously came to me. I've connected the dots, right? I've paid for the ticket via bank transfer and did not receive the ticket transfer. I attempted to resolve the issue and later obtained the chargeback from my bank, who charged me excess, so I'm still out of pocket. I have evidence supporting my account, including payment records and communications via WhatsApp and voice notes. So yeah, he's really a scumbag. He plays for I think Angry Ginger's team. Since then, I have tried on many occasions to contact him, along with screenshots of him advertising the ticket, Bailey currently plays in the Ballers League for Angry Gingers, Angry Ginger United. This is the original tweet advertising the tickets. Since then, it's been deleted. And even me and him in our DMs, yeah, a good thing I was screenshotting and sending it to my man, because obviously, like, I'm like the mutual party. He's deleted messages and whatnot. Proper scumbag, bro. Proper scumbag. I don't know who you're fooling, trying to do this tough guy look, bro. But anywho, people. So yeah, absolute piece of shit. Again, maybe Baller League have his contact number and things. I've put his contact number up here. Everybody contact, text, terrorize this scumbag, people. +44, which is just a simply 079 046 36 42 3. So yeah, absolute piece of shit. Suck him on. Suck a nigga down slow. Simple as that. I've got, when it comes to people doing scumbag stuff, there's no morals. There's no nothing for you lot. Yeah, may the clean hearts always win. And everybody else listening, everyone's family, everyone else in the world, hope you work, stay well and safe. You wouldn't think somebody that's played for Watford, Spurs, West Ham, capped by Guyana at international level would do this. But this is why you're 24. In your heart, you don't want to play Ballers League. You're probably seeing your friends doing what they're doing, and now you're trying to do this. So I know there's a lot of parents that watch me. Please make sure your kids have a lot of options so they don't wake up and decide to be a scumbag. But yeah, man, you're gonna get what's coming to you. But let's air that and get away from this. Smash the like button. Black_myth187. What a name. Sandro Tonali is open to joining Tottenham and is prepared to push for the move. The midfielder is understood to be excited by Tottenham's project and the opportunity to work under Roberto De Zerbi, with the pair sharing a strong relationship. Any deal is expected to cost in the region of 85 million. 85 million for Tonali. Now, in my opinion, I think Spurs got a free hit at him. I'll be brutally honest, because, you know, he's been offered around via his agent since January. He's offered to us. Obviously, I would take him at Arsenal, but I don't think we're necessarily pushing. It looks like we're with Bowardi. Manchester City have more money than we know, right? But it appears that they're focused on Elliot Anderson. So Spurs have a free hit at him of sorts. He clearly wants to get out of the Newcastle perspective. Yes, Tottenham Hotspur have been shit for 2 years, but if you're a footballer, you could, you know, the token of they want to, Spurs are not necessarily happy with where they're going. You could argue that this could be the start of, I say these words subjectively, a new era, obviously, at Tottenham. They've got Roberto De Zerbi. They're playing one game a week. They obviously want to get into the Champions League. There is that London aspect. Obviously, I think De Zerbi's Italian as well, so there's all that kind of stuff. It would make sense for Tottenham, and I still don't think Tottenham are going to make the top 4, top 5 next season, but they're going to be very strong because Roberto De Zerbi is a good manager. They are going to play one game a week. They're going to eradicate bad habits and promote good habits. And they're getting some experienced players. Robertson's come in, Senesti of Bournemouth's come in, Tonali's there. There'll be a couple of players who naturally leave people. And he could be excited and enticed, innit? I just think he wants out, like a number of Newcastle players, if I'm completely honest with you, because you're going to face a year minimum with no Europe. Obviously, if you assume Newcastle get Champions League football, that's coming at the 26-27 season. So simply put, I think he wants to get out of there, if I'm completely honest. We've got a lot of things to discuss, but that was the first thing in relation to Sandro Tonali. We are going to go over hand of Arsenal, people, but we have to cover the Athletic. Don't forget to take part in the discussions. S, appreciate you. Fire, appreciate you. Arsenal, this is from David Ornstein. What has happened this week? Arsenal exploring a deal for 24-year-old Club Brugge forward Christos Zolis. Sources believe Zolis, who is predominantly a left winger, could be available for around 40 million euros. In brackets, that's $46.3 million or 34.5 million pounds. Andrea Berta's immediate deputy, Maurizio Micheli, watched the Greece international in action against Sweden on June the 4th, and Arsenal are given consideration to moving forward with a deal. Then it's gone on to say what positions / players are Arsenal looking at. Arsenal are formalising their pursuit of Zolis, and it would not end their interest in the likes of Morgan Rogers or Bradley Bacola, as outlined by The Athletic on June the 2nd's deal sheet. The club have also been considering entering the market for a central midfield player, although it's not yet clear how Miles Lewis-Skelly's emergence as an option in the middle of the park impacts those plans. It's probably made us slightly more calmer, but for me, I think you need Zubamendi, Rice, Lewis Skelly, and another one, if I'm brutally honest, people. So I think we've needed a centre mid. As I said, I think you can make a case of a left back coming in, a right back coming in, a centre half cover, someone a bit like Tomiyasu, or Timber, that's a Swiss Army knife. You can make a case of a striker, whether that's a Krupi, an emerging talent. I know we're not going to get Julian Alvarez, but a Julian Alvarez, for example, some people would make a striker. You know, arguably based on certain links like Nico Paz and things like that, maybe some people would give consideration to an attacking midfielder. I know we've got Eze, I know we've got Odegaard, I know on paper there's Wanyeri, and you could say Rodgers could play there, but some fans would go there. Central midfield, you know, an 8, a 6, someone that can do a bit of both, in which I do think if you go and get Bawardi, to a degree, Tonali, Zubamendi, Rice, Lewis Skelly, they can kind of do that. There's that. I think the one area every Arsenal fan, like I said, you might think, one man might think we need a centre mid, another one might not. All of those things I've said prior to what I'm about to say now would divide Arsenal fans in it. But our heart's in the right place. We want signings, sort of thing. What I would say is the one and probably the only position every Arsenal fan in this world is probably agreed that needs to be strengthened and has needed to be strengthened for a hot second, obviously, is that left-hand side. So it'd be interesting, man. I think the market's officially open. I think we need to do a live stream at some point on Friday because, forgive me if I'm wrong, the fixture list calendar, the calendar list is announced, people. So, yeah, man, we're going to have to consider that. But, yeah, man, moving forward with this article, the club have also been considering, oh, sorry, Mikel Arteta remains a fan of Sandro Tonali. Yeah, but then again, how much are you a fan? Because they're looking at 70, 80 million. Are you going to go and do that? Obviously, you've committed about 40, 50 million for Hincapié. My man that from Greece is going to be about 30 odd. So now you're taking us into the 80s. We hope we can get Morgan Rogers. You're looking at 80, 100 million for that deal. Are they convinced that Tonali is worth 70 million, or not even that he's worth it? You've got Miles Lewis Skelly's emerging, and he's probably worth a 70 million. We signed Declan Rice not too long ago for 105. You did sign Zubamendi for a decent season. I'd have Tonali because I think the option of playing Tonali and Rice in what the current climate of football is great. I think it obviously allows you to rest Declan Rice and have confidence that you've got an experienced midfielder. You lot have seen I've done quite a lot of streams with Newcastle fans, and it's interesting to hear how they've spoken about Bruno Guimaraes and his lack of legs. Anthony Gordon, obviously, he's gone to Barcelona, and Tonali. They say his short passing range is good. Say his long range passing isn't the best. They say he's dropped off this season. I'm not saying that to be snooty, especially because he's being linked with Spurs as much as I want to, but yeah, and it's going to be a pricey deal for everybody. Like, it all depends how much this impacts our budget and what is the priority. Is the priority getting a top-level centre midfielder, a top-level left winger, a top-level striker, or can you get two of the three? Can we be a bit cute and clever? You might find someone that can have the impact we want, if Rice isn't there, or play with Rice for significantly cheaper and put those investments elsewhere. Who knows, people? So, yeah. Mikel Arteta remains a fan of Sandro Tonali, but with the player under contract for at least 3 more years, in brackets, Newcastle hold an option of an extension until 2030. So essentially, he's got 4 years on his contract. Any deal may prove prohibitively expensive. Arsenal had admirers of Bournemouth's Alex Scott. The 22-year-old enjoyed an outstanding Premier League campaign and is also a target for Manchester United. Now, there's rumours Alex Scott has a 60 million asking price. There's also rumours Bournemouth want to commit him to a new deal and put a release clause of 75 people. Arsenal's drive to recruit promising emerging talent continues. Alongside their pursuit of Leicester City's Jeremy Monga, they are interested in signing Elijah Upson, son of former Arsenal and England centre-back Matthew Upson. The 18-year-old defender is currently with rivals Tottenham, but is set to leave upon the expiry of his contract on June the 30th. Now, he's probably not going to break into Arsenal's first team level. I'd love to be wrong, but this tells me it's just another competitive option at under 21s level and things of that ilk. If he develops, great. If we might be able to sell him on for a profit. I don't know why he's leaving Spurs. Have they tried to give him a new deal and he wants to go? Who knows, people? But yeah, and for him, selfishly, you would get to train with some top-level players at Arsenal, potentially make your debut. Would Monga be part of the first-team picture at Arsenal? Monga, who turned 17 in July, so next month, is already playing senior football with Leicester. He has even featured in the Premier League, becoming the second youngest player when he was brought on as a substitute for Leicester, aged just 15 years and 271 days. He made a further 6 appearances in the top flight before 30 championship appearances across 2025-26. Now, if he signs for Arsenal, obviously the training and all that stuff, that's a benefit. You're going to train with some top-level players. You're going to learn from Arteta, all that kind of stuff. But I do think minutes are currency. How many 16 to turn 17-year-olds have 30 championship appearances under their belt? Which is why I said, is it the worst of idea? Putting the money down. I know Leicester have been relegated. Letting him spend a year at Leicester in League One, building that championship experience, however many games you get in League One, and then next season you're coming through. I can see pros for that. I could also understand if Mikel Arteta does what I do in Football Manager, in that you keep a number of these young players in and around your first team. They might play occasionally. They'll train. Obviously, on the face of it, they might not play that many minutes, although you've seen Max Dowman and what could be accomplished there. Were he to sign for Arsenal, it's unlikely he would feature that frequently immediately. He would, however, be granted the opportunity to train regularly with Mikel Arteta and the first team, enabling the manager to assess him at close quarters. Which players could be leaving? Zolis' interest may be connected to the future of Leandro Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli, whose contracts are... Wait, he's messaged me. Let me see what he's saying. Bro, shut up, man. Shut up, man. I don't want to hear that. Man saying he got scammed for tickets. Shut up, man. Shut up, man. Anyways, the Zolis interest may be connected to the futures of Leandro Trossard and Gabriel Martinelli, whose contracts are both currently set to expire next summer. Of the pair, Trossard is currently closer to an exit with interest from Turkey. Arsenal remain open to offers for Gabriel Jesus, Christian Norgard, and Fabio Vieira, which for me, that is what you want to hear. Respectfully to Fabio Vieira, listen, Nottingham Forest, I love you lot. You know, you lot gave us kits when we needed them a few years ago. Hamburger fucking about. Fabio Vieira, go to Nottingham Forest, 28 million euros. What is that? Should we say 25, 26 million quid, something like that? But end of the day, we have to just take the hit for Fabio Vieira, put a sell-on clause, keep it moving. Gabriel Jesus, I'll be amazed if we get this 20 million that's been in the papers purely because he's got a year left on his deal. He's had 2 heavy injuries. If you're trying to buy him, you do have to assess his fitness, not to mention his wages. Obviously, Berta and the guys working around him, I hope they can pull a miracle out. They know what they're doing. But for me, I just want to see the wages go. That can be distributed elsewhere, innit? I think personally, Trossard is the one that's going purely because, and who am I? But if Zolis was one of them wingers that runs in behind, takes his man on, all of that kind of stuff, I'd say, oh, Martinelli's the one to go. He seems more similar, very different, but very similar stylistically to Trossard. Feels like it's a younger model. We've gone over the Trossard versus Martinelli debate. Me personally, I think both are kind of past their sell-by date. I don't think both should go. And I'm not one of these fans that's subscribing to, it's not necessarily that I rate the players or don't agree with stuff, but in terms of us just winning a league title, having to find that balance with evolving, adapting, and moving past players, I don't see like I would feel uncomfortable with Kai, Odegaard, Martinelli, and Gabriel. And Trossard leave. It depends how you look at it because whether I rate Martinelli or not, and rumors are just rumors, right? You do see him linked with PSG, with Saudi, with Bayern Munich, with all of these kind of clubs. So you could argue he's younger as well. There's a market. He's more likely to go. He's on big wages, like big wages. Trossard's on handsome wages, but they're not Martinelli's. He's obviously 31. He's probably easier to move on. There's less years in his legs, really. So it all depends. And I think one thing that helps Martinelli is obviously when you just accept Martinelli for what he is, in it, like when you just accept Martinelli for what he is, and for me, I've given up a long time ago of whether he could be a striker, crazy left winger, the penny can drop in terms of consistency. When you kind of disregard that and just use him as a tool, I know it's scary, but he will help you out defensively. He does have pace to trouble fullbacks. It's just a squad player thing, innit? So it all depends in that regards, people. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Christian Norgard not really had an opportunity in it. You've won the league at Arsenal. Go and play first team football, career short, innit? Fabio Vieira needs to move on. Arsenal also face a decision on the future of Ethan Nwaneri. What would you lot do? For me, I think the manager either has to put an arm around him and say, listen, you're like, no manager PR, you're actually going to play, just take your chances. Because with him, it's the pathway. I'm calling for another central midfielder. So if I assume this random Joe Bloggs midfielder comes in, you've got Declan Rice, you've got Miles Lewis-Skelly, you've got Zubamendi, Marino and Kai can play there. You've got Eze and Odegaard, who you can be a bit cute and clever with in the middle of the park. If you go and get Morgan Rogers, there's that. Right-hand side, Max Dowman's obviously come to the fore. Bukayo Saka's there. You've signed Noni, and let's have it right. Trossard, Martinelli on paper, maybe this Zolis fella, you're all probably going to play on the right-hand side before Nwaneri. So simply put, and obviously Odegaard and Eze in the 10. They might just say, do you know what, there's free money there. Me, I'd loan him out because I do think, the next 2 years, I'd be shocked if big up Marino and Kai, but are they going to be here that long? Probably just needs a pathway. Odegaard maybe even has an uncertain future because there's next to no rumors around the contract, negotiation. So yeah, listen, we don't need to read this to know Alex Scott's a baller, innit? What are you saying here? Gunnar Ooze. Florian Plattenberg has made a post that there's never any bid for Fabio Vieira from Forest. And this just tells you that, again, it's silly season because, again, he's out of Germany. Did he say anything about Hamburg? Who knows? Cucurella to Real Madrid is crazy, man. Enzo Fernandez, forget that. Can't lie, man. I'm having Yandy on Monday. Apparently Liverpool admire Bracola. Yandy on Monday seems to be linked with PSG and obviously Liverpool. There's something in him. If you could improve his end product, there's a player there. Everybody saw what he was doing and what he did to Ngapié, to be fair, in the Ivory Coast versus Ecuador. Is there anything else here? Pardon me. Man United, they moved away from Elliot Anderson. Apparently, Marcus Rashford has a release clause of 40 million. But I think City can't do it and Liverpool can't do it. So there's obviously that. Doesn't seem like there's anything else interesting here, people. Obviously, here's Newcastle. They've been in talks with Victor Munoz. Crazy works, crazy works, crazy works. Just send him the money, G. So yeah, let's scroll down, let's scroll down, let's scroll down. Yeah. Real Madrid, there ain't nothing there really. Nico Paz, he's been linked with Arsenal, as has Fernandez. What's this? Nico Paz's future is still to be decided. The expectation from Madrid throughout the year had been that the Argentine international would return from Como. With Madrid informing they will exercise the buyback option for this summer for around 9 million. Now, there's also rumors around him and that he's spoken to Jose Mourinho. It's looked shaky that he's going to play consistent first team football. So he's saying, I want to stay at Como. And that's why I said earlier, yeah, and that's what gives me, that's what, what's the word? Away from Nico Paz, maybe Arsenal are open to signing a creative player. Because for me, obviously Rodgers he's not here, but that would fall under that. You've obviously got Eze on paper, you've got Odegaard, you've got Wanyeri. I might even be missing somebody else out, but then Max Dowman long term as well. Even though he's probably going to play off the right. When you look at that, yeah, when you consider all of that, you would be forgiven for being a bit naive and thinking is a priority a creative kind of player that, let's just say 10 for want of a better phrase. But when Hand of Arsenal mentioned we made an inquiry about Nico Paz for whatever reason, that made me think, ooh, the club might be open to it. Like if you were to list a list of targets or positional targets, either for this year or the next 18 months, you can make a case of obviously left winger, as we know, potentially a centre mid, potentially a left back, potentially a right back. Long term, we have to look at the centre half position, in my opinion. And obviously that creative player in it. Kai can also play in the 10 role. You're right. Yeah, you do have the tactical stuff of Kai and Marino. So across the course of a season, Madrid can't keep Galera and Paz in the same team. They've got too many ballers, bro. And you see what it is, yeah. Like obviously, there's players that have come through from Real Madrid and started playing and doing all of those kind of things, people, yeah. But they've got it. I know the game's changed because I know Vinicius went there young. I know Rodrigo went there young. But like I always feel on the best of days, we've seen players experienced in their prime and in their peak and at the top of their game, people. At the top of their game, struggle at Madrid. So when you see young players go to Madrid, I know it's not the same Madrid. I always think, oof, we saw it didn't happen for Odegaard. It took Vinicius a while. It took a lot of guys. And Madrid have a lot of players, bro. They got Galera, they got Paz, they got I can never say his name, Musintano, the Argentine lad. The Endrick is still there. Paz, they've got a buyback clause. So we'll have to see exactly what's going on. Bawardi has 1 goal in 58 games. I mean, are you looking at Bawardi to score goals? Bawardi ain't even better than Manu Kone or Chirab. Give over. Yes, he is. Give over. Yo, brother, I think Bawardi, because we already have Miles Lewis Skelly, Tonali would take more game time from him, but Bawardi can play as a 6, 8, or a 10. I don't know for the 10 stuff, man. Does Dalman need a loan? No. He's 16, 17, no? Stop hyping these average players on form. I don't know what you're referring to there, but fair play. I appreciate you. Rice needs a break next season. We do have to be very cute and clever with the fitness of Declan Rice. DG, I remember when Andre Arshavin signed for 15 mil in 2009, our record signing of the time. That's why Arshavin is still a big money signing to me. Still a massive money signing to me. Massive money signing. And that's why, yeah, I'll always have, away from his ability, I'll always have time for him. 1 second, people. One second, people. This is just replying to something. Keep the comments coming. So yeah, man. Anyways, no one is being disrespectful. Havertz said himself they call him a dog. I don't know about that or anything in relation to that. So yeah, in relation to Nico Paz, there's that. Real Madrid are having a sale of sorts. Da 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 da. Oi. So yeah, let's move on. Ooh, what's this? Arsenal. I'm excited. You see, I was doing the maths about what I'm about to say. I was doing the maths. Madrid are open to offers for Eduardo Camavinga, who Mourinho does not see as untouchable. I must admit, yeah, is my love for Camavinga a bit too strong? Does he need a new environment? Injuries have shagged him, who Mourinho does not see as untouchable. The Frenchman wants to stay. Those close to him say it's impossible for him to leave. There have been reports in Italy about a possible move for Diaz to Juventus, but the player renewed his contract last season and is only thinking of staying. Madrid would consider a loan move for Musintano, who you were talking about. I would inquire about him. But Madrid, you know what? For these guys, surely Madrid loaned these guys, like whether it's Entry, whether it's Arda, whether it's all these names we've just been talking about, surely they stay on loan or they develop where they're developing. When the time's right, they buy them back. Because I do actually think Madrid need a bit more experienced players. I know they flush some out. I know there's some still there on paper, yada, yada, yada. Cut the chat, you lot are boying it though. 26 likes. We can go up the gears, people. Big up hand of Arsenal. He's spoken. Mikel Arteta is set to renew his contract with Arsenal and spearhead the title defense of the English champions. So we need Arteta to stay. The club approached our Basque native earlier this year. It was agreed Mikel wanted to focus on delivering us major silverware and earn his position with the home of the champions. Total accountability. My understanding is that Enrique Riquelme explored a secret plot to bring Arteta to Madrid if he had won his presidential election. Mikel is currently on holiday, yet actively involved in our transfer operations. While everyone at the club are behaving like it's a done deal, the club hope to finalize the inner details of the most important contract at the club, minimum 3 years. The wheels are firmly off. Viva la Mikel. I mean, I wanted him to stay. Obviously, it would have. I wonder how Arsenal fans would have looked at it if we got. We all knew he was going to get a new deal, regardless, innit? But had he signed the new deal without that silverware, oh, I don't know. Maybe Arteta would have walked away. 3 year deal. Again, from Arteta, I think it's a masterclass because I remember Saka always used to sign 3 year deals. When you sign 3 year deals, you're always 12, 18 months away from renegotiating. And again, you got to know your worth, people. You are one of the best managers in the world at the moment. Of course, I'm not saying you're Pep or Luis Enrique. And I remember some of you lot tried to fight me, and I think some of you will change your stance and agree with me purely because he won a title. But as I said, Mikel Arteta, if he became available, I'm not saying he will get every job, but everyone that needs a manager or whatever, they will inquire about him, people. And if he stayed out of a job for a year, and I don't know, and this is obviously assuming he left Arsenal, and I'm just making things up, but Man United, City, PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona, let's just say their managers left within that time span. Again, I'm not suggesting Arteta is going to get the job necessarily, like they're just going to, there's no other candidates. He will feature on the shortlist, people. So yeah, man, this made me feel a bit of a way, if I'm honest. Andrea Berta's current contract runs until 2028. As I understand it, senior officials from Saudi explored the possibility of luring the Italian to the Middle East, while Bayern also covertly did the same thing. Andrea promised Mikel last summer he would deliver him a squad worthy of major silverware. Mission completed, with the Champions League now in their sights. Another thing I wanted to mention is Michele Mauricio, who apparently discovered Kvaratskhelia. You know, he's linked with him early in the year. He's obviously working at Arsenal now. The man responsible for scouting Hamsik and Kvaratskhelia, Kim Min-jae, and now Zolis. I can never pronounce his name. This is why, listen, at some point, Hamsik, everyone wanted him at Arsenal. Obviously, time moves on. Kim Min-jae, I think you look like a bit of a fraud. It's an Italian-Turkish league thing for you. But they got him low. They sold him high. If we can get these guys and they progress all the way to the first team, and we can get like them Eduardos and Hilebs and them kind of unknown guys, why not? Especially if they can be sold on or developed. Because we've got two options in this climate. We either scout or we pay the going rate. You know, Ryan's been at Bournemouth for 2 seconds. How much is he going to cost? Krupi the same. Elliot Anderson, obviously, from Newcastle to Nottingham Forest. Look at the prices going up. Then there's so many examples. And I do want to see Arsenal get, like, obviously, I would love an Alexis Sanchez. And I know the dynamics have changed, but I do want to see us get a Kante and a Mahrez when they're at Leicester or when they're in France. Get Sadio Mane when he's at Southampton. Go and get Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne when they're in Germany. Get Salah when everyone's still calling him a Chelsea flop and it's Italian league. Fair to say, all of these kind of things worked out in it. So that's what I think you need to do, people. But yeah, there's that. Andrea Berta's current contract runs until 2028. As I understand, senior officials from Saudi explored the possibility of luring the Italian to the Middle East, while Bayern also covertly did the same thing. Andrea promised Mikel last summer he would deliver a squad worthy of major silverware. Mission complete, with the champs now in their sights. Don't leave until we rise up the Champions League, or let's do the La Decima. I'm excited. We ain't even got one, people. But yeah. And now Zolis, while Arsenal aim to add at least 2 attackers, what does that mean with the 2 attackers thing, though? Because does 2 attackers mean, because technically I'm being silly because one's young and one's a squad player, but Zolis and Monga, they're 2 attackers. What does it mean? Like, do you get where I'm going, innit? So I very much doubt that's going to be it. But is 2 attackers, Zolis is coming in, then you're going to get a Bacola and a Rodgers or things of that ilk? I don't know, people. So yeah, man, it is what it is in that regards, man. So yeah, what's this? Arsenal aim to add 2 attackers. Do not underestimate the authority and respect this man has within the football club and wider football. 2 weeks ago, I was speaking to the reps of a player who told me Michele was the one holding court without the presence of Berta. So they trust each other in it. They're doing their thing. Berta's allowed. We've got multiple competent people, man. It just seemed like we was doing Edu and Inshallah. 2 weeks ago, I was speaking to the reps of a player who told me Michele was the one holding court without the presence of Berta. This duo act are conducting business seamlessly, as you can see with the revamp of Arsenal's youth setup, for which I am told the club have ring-fenced a special transfer budget. The contract of Declan Rice is also, a major focus for Arsenal this summer, with initial talks starting early this year. As I understand it, Declan is very happy at Arsenal despite interest from the likes of Real Madrid and others. Talks are going smoothly and expect this to get done in due course. Jurien Timber's contract is very close to completion. Minor details remain. David Raya has 1-year optional extension on his current deal. He's probably, I mean, you know, I don't need to tell you what David Raya's like. It's fair to say from the early days of David Raya, because the quality was there, but I do remember he was a bit shaky, and I put it down to nerves really because of the whole Ramsdale stuff. But the trajectory he's been on is great. One of the best goalkeepers in the league, one of the best in the world. Between Barca fans and Arsenal fans, why it's not Garcia or Raya in goal for Spain, we'd have to leave that at the feet of the manager who manages Spain. But yeah, so yeah. He's got a 1 year so he's essentially got 2 years. It makes sense, and this is what I mean by we need to. I think as much as we got to do the recruitment thing, pattern up youth level, find some immediate players, take us to the next level. I do think Berta and his wider team this summer we're gonna have to get rid of people in it just because of resources. Last summer we brought in the Ezes, the Yokerezes, everybody on decent contracts in Capier. We spent a lot, gave a lot in wages. Obviously, Gabriel Magalhaes, William Saliba, Bukayo Saka, Miles Lewis Skelly, Ethan Wanyeri. Credit to us for getting them contracts done. Their contracts got done. I'm sure at the time Raya and Trossard got more wages, but not necessarily length. And now you're gonna give Declan Rice a new deal, which somehow he's got better than he was in his first season at Arsenal, let alone at West Ham. Jurien Timber the same, Raya the same, 3 key players. So the wages are going to go up. We're still gifting out over 300 grand a week on a Reece Nelson and on a Gabriel Jesus. And if you could flush out the Fabio Vieiras, people of that ilk, it starts to give us a bit more to play with, people. Apparently, where Raya's concerned, well, Timber, minor details remain. Declan Rice, we're looking to get that done. Apparently, Real Madrid were interested. Who wouldn't be? And where Raya's concerned, all parties are very relaxed about his long-term future as a pay rise was agreed last summer. As for all rumors circulating, as of today, Arsenal are yet to make direct contact with any club for a midfielder. So that kind of big up hand of Arsenal because he's clearly credible, but that kind of pours any cold water on what you're seeing around Bawardi and this one and that one and the third, innit, people? So yeah, man. Big up yourself, Chang, man. Love for the love. Right back at you, man. Smash the likes. We need another right back to give Timber a break. It's gonna be big up the Knicks. It's gonna be interesting, bro, because I think we do. Because do we get I can't predict the future in it, but a part of you wonders and wishes, yo, if Ben White stays fit and Timber, if we could get a magic brush and these lot stay fit, we're cool in it. But do we want to gamble on Benjamin White's fitness? Or if you do get an offer from, I don't know, Everton with the last club links I saw with Benjamin White, if you get an offer, do you move him on, get a right back on less wages, who's obviously more durable, can help us out? We were linked with Fresneda when he was in Spain. We're no doubt going to be linked with him again, people. So yeah, man. Is what it is. Spurs bottling again. What do you mean? I really think that is going to be our best business, extending our most important players. Watermelon, I can't lie. Like keeping players, improving players is not seen as the sexy thing. Obviously, new players is all the range for us common fans, in it. We want new players, want to get whatever. But if doing everything new manager, new players was everything, then City wouldn't have done beyond the obvious. Somebody, apart from Liverpool and Arsenal, someone else would have snatched their chain. I do think you have to retain a group and improve a group. Look at David Raya's improvement. Like David Raya, Gabriel Magalhaes, Saliba's trajectory, so on and so forth. You get where I'm going. That's a key part. And that's why I don't advocate massively tearing up this squad. You saw Liverpool last season. There's too much change. We've got to find that balance of we can't keep things the same, but we need to keep things the same. We can't change too much, but we do need to change a lot. Life is a massive contradiction, as you guys know, man. We're giving players big money, but running them into the ground, recipe for disaster. I want Muniz from Palace. I reckon he goes Spain. Timber is crooked. I hate that, man. Less said that. White leaving. I like Adam Wharton, but Adam Wharton, I can't lie, Berta stocks is through the roof at the moment. If Saudi forward with the through bag can see him doing what most demand them have done, stay for a few years, earn that generational piece, then cut while stocks are high. Wanyeri should be sold with a buyback clause. Hit the likes. Arteta should definitely be staying. Half price. Declan Rice is signing a new contract as well, according to reports. Camavinga, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. Camavinga has muscle injuries at least once a month. Darkness in it, really and truly. So yeah, that's what Hand of Arsenal is saying. And again, news for me. Apparently, taking a leaf from Arsenal's playbook, Tuchel set piece plan. Arsenal are set piece masters. One sec, people. One minute, you're getting something. Sorry, people. I'm trying to do several things. I'm trying to conduct several things while I'm here with you guys. Fucking hell, man. The things I do for being a good person. Sorry, folks. Let's forward that one. Now you lot can leave me alone. I've did my part. I hope. Things I get for trying to get good karma. So yeah, there's that, people. But yeah, we have to crack on. Long story short, Arsenal are set piece masters. Apparently, England are trying to copy us. Fair play. I've read the article already. This is what I meant to bring up, people, and this is actually of more interest to me. Arsenal exploring the addition of an attacking specialist to the coaching structure after internal analysis highlighted concerns over creativity and attacking output. The impact of Gabriel Heinz's arrival has highlighted the value of targeted appointments to address specific performances within Mikel Arteta's system. Me, I'm all for that because as a manager, bro, it's like coaching in school. Obviously, how good we are in defense, how good we are or aren't in attack. Ultimately, it comes back to the manager. But in reality, yeah, in school, there's a class of 30 kids, right? I wish it wasn't like this, but you kind of have to have a one shoe fits all. Like if this kid, is a bit slower than everyone else, and I give him all the attention or more attention, then the other 29 are going to be robbed. And when you think about it, in reality, preseason, Arteta's got all the time in the world. But when a season's going on and you're working on certain tactics to play certain opponents, you're doing all of these kind of things. How much can Arteta specifically dedicate to individuals and collective play? So if he's doing the overview thing and you've got Nicholas Hover with set pieces, Gabriel Heinz, defensive positioning, a specific coach that obviously helps with player improvement. We all watched the All or Nothing and we've seen that Ben White clip. For me, I'm all for that, man. And I think many a club has that already. Now, I know we just went over what Hand of Arsenal said, but Arsenal have begun talks to sign Bawardi. Leo have valued him at about 60 million, while Arsenal face competition from PSG, Chelsea, and other big clubs, people. Mikel Arteta wants to rotate 4 midfielders next season: Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi, Miles Lewis-Skelly, and a new signing. Arsenal have called their interest in Mateus Fernandes, who seems set to join Manchester United. Arsenal felt that West Ham's 80 million valuation was too high. So it seems like he's going to Man United. I don't think Man United are paying 80 million. The deal might touch 80 million with certain things, but I think that's done for 60 and some change, man. We're still linked with Bawardi, according to Fabrizio Romano. Even before the World Cup, some of the biggest clubs in the world started some conversations with Bawardi's agents. I can tell you that between January and now, for sure, he has been approached by PSG. PSG love Bawardi. Then we have to mention also English clubs started conversations for Bawardi. For example, there were direct contacts with Arsenal and direct contacts also with Liverpool. So both clubs had a meeting with the agent of the player. Apparently, the president, apologies, of Leo said, we'll talk about it, in brackets, transfer speculation. With Bawardi, to be very sincere, it has also been the subject of our discussions. We have been very, very, very regular exchanges with Ayob. The idea for us is to keep him. And then he said, no, that's not enough. When I say extraordinary, it has to be something extraordinary. Here we are far from the amount that would allow us to let him go. And that's where 50 million is. So he's also been linked with Real Madrid again today. So is that telling us, you know what, if we've got a star, the world have shown we've got a star, we're trying to run it up to 100 million or near enough that. He extended his contract until 2029, so he has 3 years left. He's 18, and somewhere he is sure to be a star in a team that plays in the Champions League. Julian Laurence claims Leo would want between 60 and 70 million euros, people. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see exactly what happens there. We've been linked with Nathaniel Brown, who scored a decent finish for Germany in their 7-1 demolishing of Carousel, people. Liverpool target Diamande is still impressing. I'm not going to lie, I do like him. I wanted to ask you, would you not take Somerville? Now, I know we watched him at West Ham at Leeds. He scored a great finish against Japan. I think Man United have been linked with Somerville, and I don't think he's a game changer, level raiser, but for 50-odd million euros, I think that's a cute and clever addition, if I'm honest with you, people. And he might be one of them guys that plays better in a better setup. I don't know. Arsenal could end up having to stump up more cash for Morgan Rogers if Elliot Anderson completes his move to Nottingham Forest. Now, we all know the English talents, whether it's Wharton, whether it's Anderson, whether it's Morgan Rogers, Joe Bloggs, who will no doubt be the next one. You're looking at 60, 70, all the way to 100 for this sort of stuff. This is said, the Gunners are looking to back Arteta in the transfer market this summer, with the club keen to sign a right back, a versatile midfielder, and a left-sided attacker. BBC understands Arsenal are keen to sign Rodgers, who is reportedly open to the move on the back of an impressive season with 14 goals and 11 assists. Apparently, Arsenal are fearing Anderson's proposed switch to City could inflate the summer transfer market. The transfer market was inflated a long time ago, bro. It was inflated a long time ago. Bukola suddenly finds himself at the forefront of the transfer market. Apparently, United, Arsenal, Liverpool are all looking at their Paris Saint-Germain winger. There's talks that, are primarily focused around his contract. PSG and Luis Enrique want to keep him. He wants to play more of a prominent role. So there you have it, people. But are still keen on Esposito, people. The Gunners were heavily linked with a move for the 20-year-old a couple of months ago, but this speculation went quiet when it became clear that he was not for sale. Inter consider him untouchable. However, his future is now once again come into focus. Berta remains a huge admirer and continues to monitor him, while Newcastle are now also showing an interest, despite the Magpies being willing to spend big on the youngster after selling Gordon. Inter are not budging from their not-for-sale stance and want to hand him a new contract. Obviously, we're linked with Rodgers. Morgan Gibbs-White has been linked as a possible alternative. If we cannot obviously if we can't get Rodgers, we're looking for Gibbs-White. We've gone over the Camavinga stuff. Tonali seems to be moving ever closer to Spurs. What's all this here, more main tunes? Wait. Oh, people just criticizing the signing. Fair enough. Arsenal also showed an interest in Argentine midfielder Nico Paz, but he wants to stick with Como, and manager says Fabregas for now. Journalists have said Jose and Nico Paz had a chat. The player is expected to stay one more season at Como, people. Major breaking news. Barcelona have started moves on their interest for 19-year-old Junior Krupi. Apparently, he has 100 million euros asking price. Kes Smith, a midfielder I did want, to be fair, he could be an option for Real Madrid for 60-odd million. If we, for whatever reason, if we can't get Bawardi, we can't get Tonali, I'm telling you, he's a decent midfielder in his own right, people. I'm not giving up on signing Diaz from Real Madrid, but apparently he's only focused on staying at Real Madrid, people. He renewed his contract last year. We've gone over the Monga stuff. Amarin has been appointed AC Milan manager, or seems to be going there. So I wonder what that means for Rafa Leao. Camavinga has been told he is allowed to leave, and he's been linked with Real Madrid, people. So that ends the transfer segment. Let's just, because it looks better on screen. Oh, what did we scrolled all the way down? I big up you, look. We put in a shift here, innit? What's this with Rashford? As things stand, Rashford will move back to United next summer. There's a 40 million release clause available to all admirers, bar local rivals Liverpool and Manchester City. So at least for a point, he's gonna have to return. He's gonna have to return to Man United. 40 million is not true, is it though? Because you're gonna have to put him on. He's probably on 300 bags at United, yeah. Arsenal are probably going to have to put him on 2 something. Is it worth it? Probably not. 50 likes. Can we get all the way to 100 people? Not everyone rates him, but are we supposed to entertain that disrespect? Oh, you're talking about in the chat. Get Krupi, Berta. I'm hearing Kone terms agree, DG. Where have you seen this? Where are you seeing this? Tonali and De Zerbi are from the same hometown, Baressa in Italy. Apparently, Chelsea will bid 100 million for Rodgers. So then we have to hope Rodgers has told Aston Villa it's Arsenal and only Arsenal, because if they're going to bid that, then they're going to go and get their individual in it. I think Arsenal would like to do it for 80, 90, if I'm brutally honest. I hope to see, man. The one thing I would say, while it would be disappointing, while it would be extremely disappointing, I know they've probably got alternatives. So, yeah. So, yeah. It's hot, man. I had to open that window. And to be fair, it don't help when you fucking got this on there, does it, you daft cunt? No nonsense way of managing. That's why Aubameyang got booted and Eze got dropped after the Villa game. And the list goes on my manager don't play games. To be fair, I do think the Eze drop thing was harsh. We've changed football same way Pep did. Rivals can't see it, though. DG, Omri is out of a job. Attacking manager. I can't lie to you. I would take Omri, like, Omri or Ian Wright, I genuinely think they should be doing finishing training with more of the young G's in our team. I don't know, but I would also say more so than that. I don't know if it will help, but Noni Madueke, Martinelli, these kind of man, maybe you like just an hour after you like let's just say Arteta's train, like let's just say training started at 11:30 because it's 12:28. So let's just say it was an hour. All right, cool. Everybody who's not involved, go shower, go do gym, go pick up the kids, whatever. You man, extra half an hour, 45 minutes, just Raya stay with us or Tommy Setford, you jump and go. Man are doing finishing drills. Because that's the thing, yeah. I do think these players do all of this. I do think they try. I do think these players try to improve, but it's a mad thing. But I would be all for that. I would all be for you get me as many goalkeeping coaches, midfield coach, attacking coach, because it just helps Arteta in it. It just helps. It just helps. You can never have too much help. I like all of that stuff. Like a lot of these managers when they're when they're having their meetings and they're talking to people from other sports, like I don't know NFL. I like all of that stuff because that's all the stuff that people don't see in it. Like what they're doing on the training ground, it doesn't happen overnight. Same way, like when Arsenal were eighth, we didn't get there overnight. We was making years and several bad decisions. In the same way, forget the fact that we won the Premier League. Don't forget the fact that we won the Premier League. You know my thing. Let me put on my chain. Don't forget the fact that we won the Premier League. But all the good things we're doing right now, it didn't come overnight. All the good defensive aspects. Same way, the mixed bag in attack. I don't subscribe to Arsenal boring as much as people are making out. I think that's the modern day. I don't think our attack is as bad as even I make out. But undoubtedly, you can see if there's one area, like again, break it up, defense, midfield, attack, it's the attack that are playing nowhere near to their potential. I feel defense, 100%, you're playing to your capacity. Whole defensive ethos of the team. You lot can obviously get better, all those things. You get where I'm going. Midfield, I think 60 to 70%. And I think it's more so we need to find a way to break down low blocks, get a bit of movement, get a bit of rotations. And a lot of the players, like whether it's Zubamendi lost his form, ran into the ground, took a minute for Lewis Skelly to get a chance, or Arteta deemed now he's ready because obviously we heard he was training. Odegaard and Eze, it was a mixed bag in terms of their form. You get where I'm going. Like there's different ingredients. Roger's still crying. I mean, I understand elite mentality, but like, come on, bro. If somebody tweeted it, yeah, or better yet, someone said it in my comments. If Prime Mike Tyson says he wants to fight me, bro, I need to come with. I'm still gonna get mashed up, but you need to come with some weapons, don't you? It's not fair. What made you believe that Cape Verde were going to go open and go gunshot for gunshot with Spain? They're not blessed with the same attacking talent. They can't match you on the ball, but what they can match you is off the ball. You've got your tactics the gaffer's talking to you about. You've got yours. Let's play to our capacity. And they did exactly that. And even then, Spain, you didn't really create much. But that being said, you did because the keeper, we all watched it. We did a watch along. Big up you lot. He was man of the match. You could have taken your chances. Now, statistically, Spain start tournaments quite terribly, if I'm brutally honest. So we're going to have to see, bro. Exactly what I've been asking. Where is our attacking coach? It's all about growth, organically achieved. None of that 115 business. I'm proud of the boys. Come get your chain back. It suits us very well. Long may our beloved club success continue. Tuchel is a genius. Guess who are the designated corner takers for England? Bukayo Saka, Declan Rice. I feel like Noni might back that. Is he going to go with Eze? We need a right back, centre mid, 2 left wingers, and maybe a striker. Honest to God, I think if we can scout some striker and it's a cute and clever moment, yeah, I honestly think the striker thing is going to be parked off till next summer or whenever in it, if I'm honest with you. I do like Antonio Nusa, and to be fair, we ain't been saying his name too much. The Yildiz thing, apparently we sniffed around it, it never banged. You'll be surprised. Martinelli and Madueke are the best finishers in training, but can't handle nerves during serious play. Krupi excites me. That Zolis looks promising as well. Exciting times ahead, boys. Need to get rid of Deadwood first. Then Marquis signing will come after the World Cup. In Bert, we trust. Arsenal have earned the right for me to trust them. Now, the market closed and you don't do what you need to do, then I can have my opinions in it. But they've earned trust. In the same way, there's been times I haven't trusted anything at the club. But, everything's working. The way Josh is speaking and what we're doing, Arteta, Berta, the players, great. And I think a lesson we learned last season is we're allowed to be frustrated and get nervous and things, but don't judge any club. I can't speak for any club, but generally don't judge any club at the start of the window. Judge them at the end. We'd all agree we had a decent window. We had a very good window, better yet, last season, right? I can remember, even myself, Noni was forwarding. We got Noni. Eze was looking like he was going Spurs. Yokerez was fighting, sporting. We was vexed. But look how it ended. So there's a lesson for everybody. I think Havertz can be a 20-plus striker. I think we underrate him as a fan base. Big up, Kai, man. But yeah, I'm kind of checked out of that stuff. Ace, one love, man. Big up the nation. Indy Kaya saying Kai is on Bayern Leverkusen, which I clocked. He's going back home. Leverkusen. Maybe if he was linked with Bayern Munich, I'd believe it a bit more, man. This guy and his popcorn machine medal. Marcel, do you ever just shut up, mate? I remember Fergie had different coaches, including attacking coach. Mikel needs a different view, especially in terms of attack. One thing I rate about Pep is obviously it never worked out now, but every couple of years he would get a new coach in, like different ideas, challenge him, etc. Because I do think they challenge him. Obviously, Arteta is the one that he can take advice from everyone, but he has to make his own decisions. But I'm not going to lie, I never got that vibe under Wenger towards the end that his coaches challenged him. I think they do challenge him. I think a lot of the concerns that we've got, they've potentially risen that to Arteta. Why would you, and all coaches, why would you want coaches that are just going to agree with you? It don't make sense. Obviously, agree if it makes sense to agree. Don't disagree for the sake of it, but you might provide a different perspective. Unless I'm a big fan of maybe even Gabriel Hines the last summer, like different voices, if that makes sense. Because I do think sometimes when you're in something, you can't always see. How many times, have you lot been going through something in your life where you're trying to solve something? You might ask, and you've been focused on it for time, and there's still no answers. There's been no answers. You might ask your friend or something, someone who's not involved in the situation. They might say something, and then you're like, eureka. Henry will tell man not to track back. Nah, to be fair, the way Henry talks about off the ball stuff, I don't think he would. Our attack is not just personnel, it's the manager adapting patterns of play. It's everything, man. I think we've seen the best of Saka. Hamstrings and ankles are cooked. Gent next door, Saka's my guy. Saka to the end, to the world and back. I'm not subscribing to that. We're not selling no Noni Madueke. 156 people here. Takes 3 seconds to hit the like, people. Take that silly hoodie off. It's not a hoodie. Marcel, it's like 6 in the morning, America, bro. Have you brushed your teeth? Have you even gone to sleep? What's the World Cup schedule looking like today, DJ? I got to go get my yak. France, Senegal. That's the only one, man. I'll watch the other games, but I didn't think you lot would want to be here. The views, you lot ain't been supporting it as you normally do. So I thought, you know what, the big games. Bro, leave Diaz at Madrid. He's a bum. Every summer puts out a statement to fight for his spot. Then rub bench all season. Spot on the bench. Team no sleep. World Cup vampires with Dale. I can't lie, man. I hear you lot, but please don't burn out, man. Don't burn it. Well, to be fair, it's kind of for you. You're in America. It's a lot. It's a lot kind of for you. So yeah, man. It is what it is. DG, hook me up with some London shorties when I pull up to the UK. Oh, now I thought I don't get things and stuff. Link me. We'll go do a movie. 20 plus. I mean, I've seen Kai get 13, 14, so it's not too, what's the word? It's not too unrealistic, but I'm not on that. Like, Kai's a good squad player. I'm keeping him. You're involved, but I need to kind of know what I'm getting. I don't want to bet on Kai getting 20-odd goals and scoring goals and whatnot. I don't want to bet on the penny dropping with Martinelli. I don't necessarily want to bet on the penny dropping with Noni Madueke. I love you all. You're good squad players. You're tools in the box. But that's what I mean. I accept you for what they are. There's a lot of games for Kai. And you are right on one thing, in my opinion, Gent next door. People talk a lot of shit about Kai. We can maneuver with you throughout a season. People can't act like he's a bad player and he's not down for the cause. Martinelli, there's things you could do helping us defensively. Noni, it is what it is. You're here now. But in terms of actual belief, it's seeing believing now, because potential is one thing. Man need to realize it now, because we've crossed that border. True, Marcel. True. Well, we're here. France, Senegal, 10 minutes before kickoff, so 7:50. We'll be here. Hey, I'm the wrong person, SLD, to ask on that. Stylish, appreciate you, my boy. Your Snapchat stories kill me. I'm not even going to talk too much and too tough, but yeah. Hyper, one love, man. So yeah. Is anything else Arsenal related? Let's see. It's a slow news day. Okay, someone was right. What's this about Saliba? I feel like Saka gave an interview. All right, let's see all of this. Let's get into the reading. Where did it go? This is why you shouldn't have too many tabs. 40 million for Rashford. The true cost is not going to be 40 million. Once again, anyone having that? I like the illusion in my head of what Rashford could be left wing for Arsenal. The reality across 38 games, I don't know. All right, that's not loading, whatever. I don't want to go against the manager. We know an Achilles problem is fuck Saka, man. Saka just needs a clean run. Saka has said, I don't want to say anything that goes against the manager, but what I would say, between Mikel Arteta, Arsenal's medical team, and England's medical team, since March, they have managed me amazingly and helped me get back on the pitch and do what I can do for the team. I'm feeling better than I felt for the last few months. I'm ready to go. As players, it's the biggest gamble, especially if you're not feeling your sharpest. You have no choice whether you don't play or you put yourself out there knowing people are going to judge you the same. At the end of the day, people don't really care how you're feeling. They expect you to deliver. They expect you to perform. I'm happy to take the gamble. It paid off, I'd say. I'm going to continue doing that, but I'm feeling a lot better than I did in March. I'm ready to go. Okay. Is that it? I thought it was going to be one big broadcast interview. Apparently, Arsenal have agreed personal terms with Manu Kone as they look to sign the France World Cup midfielder from Roma. It has been reported that we're looking at him. This has said we're interested in a striker, a versatile winger, a midfielder, and a right back. We've been linked with Tonali and Alex Scott. Apparently, we've called our interest on Fernandez. We're looking at Kone. He's had a bit of an injury hit season, if I'm honest. An Italian report, Corre de Serra, bro, I tried, man. Say Arsenal have already held talks with Kone's reps and agreed personal terms over a move to North London. The next step for Arsenal is to negotiate a deal with Roma, who reportedly want at least 50 million euros, in brackets 43 million for the midfielder, but would privately accept 39 million. Now, for argument's sake, that's a lot cheaper. Whether part the ability off for 1 sec, because we all know we'd rather certain man. But Bawardi, you're looking at 60, 70 plus. Tonali, you're looking at 70 plus. 39 million, you might be able to mix and blend with that, people. And we've covered this before, but he's done what all players have done in it and said, I'm focusing on the World Cup. DG, what's your view on people twerking that Diamande versus Hincapié performance? He terrorized Hincapié. You know, Diamande's a quality player. And if he could just be fine-tuned, I still don't know if he's going to be the guy, though. But you can see why PSG and Liverpool are linked with him. He's quick, he's aggressive, shows an ability to use both feet, can play on both sides. He plays with maturity, but still plays with rawity, if that makes sense. I can see why. I cost Arsenal 30 million euros and found myself playing with the under-23s. What has he said? 90% of people who have experienced what he went through would have given up, according to Fabio Frecosi, who coached Saliba when the latter was barely a teenager. With the loss of my mum, nothing was going right and everything was difficult. It was the worst year of my life. He had COVID. I mean, there was a COVID outbreak, all that kind of stuff. If that doesn't put a lump in your throat, I don't know what does, man. At that moment, everything came flooding back. It wasn't just sporting sanctions that was hurting him, but everything else. With all due respect to anyone, it wasn't the Arsenal of today. I cost 30 million euros and I found myself playing with the under-23s. It was tough. My mood was really low because I knew that even if I trained well, I wouldn't play. According to his entourage, Saliba never told Arteta that he was mourning the loss of his mother at the time, partly because he didn't speak English well, but because he didn't want to be given a chance to play out of pity. In January 2021, Saliba eventually faced the truth. He had to leave on loan. He flourished with Nice and shines on a weekly basis with Marseille the following season. I think that period was important for him. Will was a child, according to one of his closest friends. He didn't have the maturity for that world, but would he be the player he is today without those 6 months? I don't know. I always try bear in life, man. When life starts to strangle, God don't give you more than you can handle. If life was different, we might not make the distance, but Saliba, you see this? You see this upstairs, bro? That makes me want to cry, man. So, yeah, man. Bawardi is worth the money. He's a baller. Diamande still can't hit a barn door. Tonali is ready now, though. Bawardi will probably need to get used to the Prem. I'm taking him over Bawardi. I can't lie, I'm taking Bawardi. Street say I get 4s and 5s. Hey, brother, come on now. Let's have madness. And you know what, Marcel? I'll give it to you because at least your face is on camera, yeah? But SLD, no one knows what you look like. Chatting off. Just chatting off. You twat. Look at this face. You think I can be with 4s and 5s? You lot see me and stop me on the roads. You lot don't see me with gal. You lot know. Aura points. The Brownings. The sexy dark skinned ones. The lighties. I want to settle down personally. I want to leave the game, man. Can't lie, I want to leave the game. Does the game want to leave me? It's all entertainment. I'm joking with my friends. I'm pissed. They're probably going to sell Wanyeri when we should have never bought Madueke. This is why I'm saying I'm not even trying to make it about Noni, yeah? Draw a line. No more of them Rashfordy, Noni. If you want, go and get Ryan and Krupi and these kind of young players that are unpolished diamonds. Don't get fairly experienced diamond. I'm not on it now. I can confirm I've seen DJ with a drop. Not that we come on, man. Come on, man. He fried Hincapié, bro. Hincapié stressed him. No shame in that. Stressed him out, bro. You can't lie, stressed him. But that's what I mean. International football's a different ball game, and football's about systems. Van Dijk looks a bit less in the Netherlands side. Gabriel Magalhaes and the whole of Brazil's structure is poor. Ecuador is not Arsenal. You're gonna get pulled out of position. Not to take anything away, he terrorized Hincapié, bro. To the point where I was thinking, Hincapié, I hope you don't pull a hamstring. That's the first time in a hot sec I've seen Hincapié terrorized. I can't lie, bar a few. Most of you wasn't speaking about Bawardi until this week, let's be honest. I love Stylish, you know. He just say his opinion. Damn, big up to Saliba, man. Strong brother. One of the few players I like. If you notice, I don't really slander him. Solid youth, bro. And this is why, yeah, I always try to be a bit easy on footballers because you don't know what man are going through. And I've said this before. It pisses me off when people say, oh, they get money. You don't know. Sometimes man are in shit form because shit form, but their wife could have left him. You know, the wife could have, God forbid, but this is real life, isn't it? People, you know, people lose family members, mums die, there's pregnant, your wife could have complications with pregnancy. There's things that fuck you up. And listen, I have to admire Saliba. You've come to a country, couldn't speak the fucking language. Arsenal was a mess. Unfortunately, God, rest in peace to your mum and everyone that's lost a loved one. Your mum died. It was looking shaky. Only when life pushes you to that do you see how strong you are. He probably didn't even know. And he's quite a religious person. And if you're not religious, that's your bit. But this is why people can't tell me God's real, bro. Because when you feel like you can't do this thing, you can do this thing. And this is why I always say, bro, do you think man care? As much as football means a lot to me, you think man care? As much as it means a lot, and I'll do all of this stuff, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean anything. You lose a Champions League final or a game of football, so what? Seeing what Magalhaes did to fucking become a footballer and seeing what him and his mum crying in that interview and things. You missed the penalty, so what? Look at what you lot have achieved. Look what you lot gone through. Big up Saliba, man. And you know, another thing I like about Saliba as well, yeah, you can tell him and Mbappe are proper friends. You seen the way he's always sticking it on Mbappe. I'm not gonna lie. I know this isn't gonna happen, yeah. But I do watch Mbappe, like the Mbappe and Saliba banter, and I always think, it's funny, isn't it, Mbappe? Where's your passport? Come live in London, cuz. Arteta rush him first, so he knows he can't step here. But Wardy was doing it against Casemiro, Bruno, Paqueta midfield. Come on now, what we doing here? I hear you, but you lot are being horrible. I'm not gonna lie. I think two truths can live in the same realm. I said this during the watch along. I feel Bawardi was cold. And I can't even... Brazil were scrubby. They were scrubby. But I do think Bawardi was cold. And on one hand, you can't... Like, it's not his fault. Like, he's playing at the World Cup. Same way if he crumbled and he played shit against a rubby Brazil. Oh, is this the guy from Lille that everyone's talking about? He was rubbish. He can't be held accountable for that. But it's also true. And on the other hand, I do think he had a good game. But honestly, I think man are gassing it. I think, and it's nothing to take away from him because he was good. And I've done a video on it. Again, people, make sure you're checking out all the content, people. Because I've started a little World Cup series. Every time there's a bit of games that's been played, like for example, I've covered all the games that's come out to this point. I brought out the video, so it's more for my World Cup thoughts. Him and Yan Diamande and him, they keep doing this. They're gonna go for 100 odd million. But as I was saying, yeah. While I think he was amazing, I do think man are gassing it. I do think they're gassing that performance. He was quality, don't get it twisted, but man are moving, I don't know, they're moving like it was Paul Scholes or something of that ilk. I do think people are being horrible though, because people are saying, it's just a new name, you're gassing up in the World Cup. I hear that, but this ain't, I don't even know a random guy. Like, remember the Morocco lad? Is it Ohani or something? The last, what was it, 2022 World Cup? He was cold for Morocco. He got a move, saw fuck all about from him at club level, and he's now back playing for Morocco, innit? It's not one of them. He's played 90 odd times, close to 100 for Lille. He's been wanted by the bigger clubs. We linked with him in January. Like, everybody's watched him play football. Like, all that he's done, that's like Lille. All he's done now is go into the World Cup, pardon me, and showcase his talents to a wider audience, bro. Let's have it right. With the greatest of respect to the French league, bar the occasional big games or the Champions League games, man, I'm not watching Lille against Metz or something like that. Less people are going to watch that than Morocco versus Brazil. And he's 18. So I do think he's one of them 18-year-olds that age is relevant, but irrelevant because it's not like he's inexperienced. He's played in the champs and stuff. He is mature beyond his years. He definitely has moments of madness where he does some crazy stuff and shows that he's an 18-year-old. But yeah, man, I think man are horrible. Still don't get the Tonali hype. It's not even a hype thing for me. It's just I see the tools that you can bring to the table, and I think, you can play with Declan Rice. If we need to be a bit cute and clever with Rice's fitness, if there's a moment where, like, let's take the West Ham game, for example, where Rice went right back and you saw in midfield. Maybe if we had a Tonali, somebody else goes right back. Maybe Tonali would have gone right back just on the needs must thing. Maybe if Rice went right back, with Tonali and the engine he's got, because that's the way I'm looking at it, we wouldn't have seen that drop off. Because obviously everyone will miss Rice, but I think we're in deep trouble. I always have this debate with you and my friends about who is Arsenal's most important player, because I think there's many different people, but I actually think it's Rice. And I'll say it like this: God forbid we're ever in the scenario, but let's just say the first 10 games of a season, yeah, you have to play them, but you could pick a player not to be there, Saliba or Gabriel. I think we can maneuver. I don't necessarily feel comfortable saying this because I think all answers are right, but you could maneuver with one of them not being there. You could say Raya's our most important player, and I don't want to see Raya not there, especially with Kepa. But you could make a case of we could maneuver with Kepa there. If I don't see Declan Rice in that middle of the park, I'm kind of pessimistic for the majority of the games, if that makes sense, man. So yeah, man. Smash the likes, people. Support all of DG's content. Hardworking brother. Marcel, you're all right, but then you're gonna spoil it soon. Facts. Brazil messed up with picking that team. Still not 100 likes. Let's fix that. See, good afternoon, man. DJ, I know you got the scouting on lock. Who is a forward playing 6'8"? I know you got a few names. For me, it'd be Kes Smith. The one I want, yeah. And if I'm honest, I don't know if he's ready right now. But Nathan De Cat, I don't even know if he's been called up by Belgium, but he's at Anderlecht. That's an Arsenal midfielder. If I could, I'd buy him and let him stay at Anderlecht or park him off in the Prem on loan, man. I think Bawardi, Miles Lewis-Skelly, Ethan and Max are being prepped for the next gen. Only Rodgers will be a starting 11 midfield change with either Martin or Mikel leaving. Mikel Merino, I'm not selling him this summer. Obviously, if money gets put down, people got offers, but I always think of football as a squad game. You're going to need a Kai. There might be 3 games, Kai might win you just from doing a moment of madness. Marino's got that clutch gene. I think we are going to need him. You need this throughout a season. And I'm not going to lie, I do think I want to go into next season. Declan Rice, Zubimendi, Miles Lewis-Skelly, and next midfielder. Then you've got creative solutions you could do with an Odegaard, with an Eze, with a Kai, with a Marino. For us, throughout the course of it, bro, there's 50, 60 games, man. 50, 60 games, bro. 50, 60 games. We're going to need different options and different things. And I want Max Dowman to play a lot more next season. I don't think he's ready to play centre mid, but you see like how he got that start against Crystal Palace. And I must admit, I do think he looked out of his depth. I do expect him to look out of his depth in the middle of the park. You need him to. I need him to be put in those kind of situations so we can groom him to one day be playing in midfield. But right now, it's a right wing thing. And you can't contain Max, bro. Is it even a hot debate? Max Dowman, Euros. Hot take as well. Like, Max, on hindsight, I wasn't even screaming it. Rio and Max Dowman, they should be with England. I'm not gonna lie. I know Liverpool would never sell Rio and Gomor, but I try, I try. That Nathan guy is young but has physical attributes for CDM/centre back. How's Frankie de Jong stock in 2026? Everyone just recognizes him as a good midfielder. I must admit, obviously he's at Barcelona, but I thought De Jong was going to kick on a bit, Like, there's a couple of them Dutch players I don't feel kicked on as much. Like, Deluded ain't kicked on. I mean, he's at Man United, innit? But not kicked on as much as I thought, because I thought he might be one of the top 5 centre-halves in the world. You're not screaming him. Who else did I say? I've lost my trail of thought there. But whoever, the other one I said, the same logic. Frankie de Jong. Like, is he the best centre mid in the world? Technically, he's up there, but man are going to say Vitaya, João Neves, Declan Rice, someone throw in some other names. You're going to say these kind of guys. People might even say Valverde or something before De Jong. Still rate Ranieri higher than Dowman. I rate them both. I can't lie, I don't though. Dowman's thing different, bro. I do think Ranieri's kind of become one of Arsenal's most underrated players. He's been forgotten about. He was the new kid on the block. I just feel I just feel the pathway shagged him at right wing and in centre midfield. We've obviously won the league. And now what's going to shag a lot of these young players is you're not coming through at Arsenal when we're meaty. Like when, I'm not saying Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Nelson and Ketty. I'm not saying they wouldn't have broken through. But it's very different when we're playing one game a week. We're back-to-back 8th. We're just happy to be here. Now we are competing. Because I do think football fans, they want all the young players to develop. They want established players. They want Arteta to rotate, but not rotate. And that's not him. That's everybody, really. We don't spend 100 million on nothing. Rice is the first name on the team sheet. Then Ryan for me. Our centre backs are the best in the world, but Rice needs the armband for me. Monga, Dowman, both third options for left wing, right wing when the new season starts, bro. If we could get Monga, bro, we're finally moving how we need to move as a football club. Marcel, one love for the super chat. Bless up for the content, Killy. We appreciate it. I take my hat off to you lot. Without you lot, the channel is dead. So I appreciate you lot. We love you, DG. We do. Oh, DG, we love you. I do like my chant, though. I do like my chant when you lot comment it. And when I play Sunday League, DG. You'll be playing fullback. You'll make a tackle. You'll hear that. I fucking drop. I'm start screaming shit for no reason. Fucking drop, lads. I'm getting gassed. That's how I know players, yeah. If that's me in Sunday League, that's how I know when you're playing. If you play for these top teams or in the Premier League and people are charting, it must gas you. DG, for me, 1 year, he's in the same bracket as Max. I would not get rid of him. I'd rather let Odegaard go. I just think Wanyeri's just seen as 3Ps. I don't want him to go. I rate Max more than Wanyeri. I think they're ballers. Bro, like, I can't lie, man. Arsenal fix up. There must be another way. We can't be selling Wanyeri, bro. There needs to be a reality where Miles Lewis-Skelly, Wanyeri, Saka, Dowman, fucking all the young G's, Monga, even though he's come from Leicester. Yeah, English core. 155 live right now. We can get 15 people hit the like. Easy. What are you saying about these Manu Kone links? Would be a cheaper, more efficient option, burst into the French team and had a good season. A more technical Thomas Partey alternative. Nah, Smokey settings. He ain't no Thomas Partey alternative. Maybe I'm being a bit snooty in it, but we're going from Bawardi links, Tonali links, this one, that one, and then you're not telling me about Kone. First, you asked me to be honest. Like the name brand thing, I'm like, that's a bit underwhelming. But he is a decent player. It does save a bit of peas. Obviously, he wants to be a starter and things like that. But I think they can more coexist because one does wonder if you go and get a Bawardi, or let's say Tonali because it's easier, an Italian international, Zubamendi, Spanish international. You've got Rice, you've got Lewis Kelly, should be at the World Cup. How do you don't know this isn't how I think, but how does it all coexist in it? Someone's got to miss out. So I wouldn't be against it. And he's got injury issues, no? And again, he might sign for Arsenal, have a clean run, but you see these dons with these injury issues. You add in the Arsenal tax, we're never going to see them. He's a baller, though. He's decent. I'm not going to be against it. Like, if he signs, it's cool. The reason you don't want Bawardi, cook Brazil. You're just, Abdul, you're always here saying foolishness. I said I want Bawardi. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I think the midfield option will be based on price. I don't want Tonali for 100 mil. Yeah, I don't think Arsenal, Manchester United, teams that have been linked with Tonali, I think they would have him. Arsenal, Manchester United, City, I think they'll have him. But they've got other things to do, and they're probably not prepared to go to a certain price. Like Matthias Fernandes, he's going to be cheaper than Tonali. Like they probably, I don't care for the 80 million thing. I'll stand corrected. I think that's a 60. City could get more, but they've said, we'd rather the big ticket item be Elliot Anderson. It all depends. Do we see Bawardi as the younger model? It seems like, even in January, it's like Tonali was offered to us via his agent and we didn't go for it. It seems like we've been putting the groundwork with Bawardi. So is it one of those that we like him? And then obviously Spurs, I don't know Spurs' priority, but they're prepared to put the bag down. Either way, whether it's Spurs, Arsenal, United, City, Newcastle are playing hardball, innit? I don't personally want Tonali. For the right price, I'm on it still. It allows you to get two options, a cheaper and a bigger option like Bawardi. I don't think we signed Kone and Bawardi for what it's worth. What we saying about Arthur Atta? Who's that? You talk about the Brazilian Arthur. DJ, I want you to cook Rants forever. I enjoy that. Big up Rants. When he cooks me, I hold it. When I cook him, I hold it. We had a great stream on Friday. I think I've released a clip, like one of the two clips I've got for you lot. So yeah, go and check that out, man. We've started our World Cup show. We're still going to talk Arsenal. There's still watch-alongs. There's bare things, man. As Marcel said, and some of you, make sure you're supporting. Do you not think we are better going for Premier League proven players, as other players might take a while to set in? Yes and no. Like because we've signed guys from England that ain't settled in immediately. We've signed people from abroad that have, and vice versa of it. I just want the right players, man. You know me, I'm all for the 3 C's, innit? Like competency, like as dumb as it sounds. If you're a midfielder, do you operate like a midfielder? If you're a striker, do you operate like a striker? Competencies. Confidence as well, because mentality is a big thing. I'm not saying you need to scream and shout, but I think we need to move away from like fluctuating emotional players. So like when everything's going well, they're thinking they're the best thing since sliced bread. When everything's going terrible, they're down. I want people that listen. You're never just going to be up, but when things are up, when the things are right, you're not thinking you're that level. When things are left and they're down, you're not thinking you're that level. You're just balanced. So competency, confidence, and the biggest thing, consistency. I'm not expecting you to do it for 38 games, you know, but if there's 3 games in 10 days, cool. If you do it on the Tuesday, Wednesday, I need to know you're going to do it on the Saturday. I need to know you're going to do it on the next Wednesday to get where I'm going. Any right back option you like, I'll be honest, there's none that scream at me. If there was one, it would be Tino Livramento, but obviously, Price can't stay fit. Arsenal tax, another one that we like, but have we got peas for that? I don't know. I'm starting to think Ben White stays, you know. I am starting to think we part the right back stuff off. Obviously, I don't know. Don't work for Arsenal. Berta has shown he's full of surprises, but I am starting to think that, if I'm honest with you. But it all depends, though, man, because the way Timber's speaking, I'm exaggerating, and maybe I don't know, I'm getting excited, but that doesn't sound like to me he expects to be fit for the majority of preseason, maybe even the start of next season. I don't know what's going on with Benjamin White. Obviously, you've got them two. One wonders about Gabriel and Saliba. We hear Saliba surgery and whatnot. Rice has a back issue and he's still playing. Saka as well. These are things I'm going to be monitoring. I know I went a bit away from Benjamin White, but I hope that made sense. The way I see it, Bawardi is likely to take someone's chain Zubi, whilst Tonali is an expensive rotation piece. If I'm honest, yeah, my hot take, I think Zubimendi might want to cut back to Spain soon. Could look to get a right back on loan till Ben White is fit. True. But it's not even getting fit, it's staying fit, man. Because Timber's, I don't think Timber's injury prone. I just think that long-term injury has shagged you in and there's been knock-on effects. But right back, we're in trouble there, innit, if something happens. I'd love seeing Tomiyasu balling out, but there's a skill in knowing when to let these injury-ridden players go. I like Matoma at Brighton as far as Prem-proven players go. Just wondering about his injuries, etc. Depends on the price. His stock has kind of dropped, innit? Yeah, the Udinese midfielder, silky and technical. He's French. Tonali, Ash Mad is saying, pardon me, I like Lemaitre from Dortmund that plays for Germany. He looks decent. I take him at my club. Every time I watch him, he impresses me. Physical size. Apparently, Jose tried to scream Real Madrid by him. Decent. You know what? Guys like that thrive in the Prem. It sounds dumb, yeah? But Marcel, them kind of man, if they go Bournemouth, they'll go Bournemouth. Someone will get zagged. Wasn't he at City? Well, there's 2 of them. Bacola is meaty. I don't care. Find someone else. Trizoli, T, Bacola, Monga, Bawardi, Rogers, Summer Window. I'm dreaming again. Would have loved the right back as well. We need some outgoings, man. And that's actually beyond the obvious, as much as we're talking about incomings. I need to see some outgoings, man. I know it's easier said than done. I know the window's just open, but I need to see some outgoings. There's a huge option where Ethan could go on loan in Germany. There'll be a lot of people. I can't lie. I think I'm screaming Prem loan now for him. Hayden, big up yourself, man. 15 more likes until we hit 100. Wanyeri is top 3 most technical players in our squad. Ooh. Is he better than Groupie? Is he better than Julian Alvarez? Is he better than Morgan Rogers? I'm speaking it to existence. I don't know, you know. I actually think it's going to sound dumb, yeah, but I reckon Wanyeri's top 3 finishers in that squad. Technical. Odegaard, I'd have Odegaard ahead of him. I'd have Zubi ahead of him. Can't lie, I'd have Trossard ahead of him. He's top 5 though. I would love to watch Arsenal training purely. I would love to. I mean, I'll get embarrassed in it, but I'd love to take part in, you know, the passing, the rondos, bro, because Odegaard's team is different. And I need this. I'm 31. I need to have a kid, man, because if I hurry up, my dream would be to have 100k subs, doing this Arsenal thing, battling away on TalkSport and the broadcasters, and my son playing for Arsenal. And to my unborn son, if Arsenal win the league and you're there like Max Dowman and Wanyeri and them, man, you better get your dad on that parade bus, you know. Because way before you won the league, he was in my ball sacks. You need to get me one of them boxes as well. Get me, yeah, we're doing this. I want my son to be a right back, though. I might force my unborn son to be a right back. Can't cap. He's a baller. I'm on that. That's why I asked DG. Thought Frankie was one of them. He's cold, but yeah, no one ain't screaming him top 5 best in the world. He's one of the best right backs to ever do it. What are you talking about? What did I do? Carvajal on a free 1 to 2 years while we sort out the right back position would be mad. I know, man. I'd have to see his physical condition, man, because you've been you know, Carvajal, when you say Carvajal, I'm thinking him in his prime. It wouldn't be the worst. You have to say sorry to Benjamin White and Saka, but yeah, that's a myth, man. I see a link to a centre back, Crystal Palace centre back. Do you think that means the club is unsure on Saliba? No, I just feel even though Saliba signed a new deal and he's not going anywhere, obviously as a football club you have to be raised. It's like Bayern Munich. They know Elise he's not going anywhere, but it wouldn't surprise me if scouting they're looking at right wingers if it ever happens, because scouting isn't always immediately the first team. There's probably clubs that watch players, they think, "Raw, he's going to be a star, but we're not going to move for him this year." The second year comes, we're not going to move for him. Maybe don't even sign him 3-4 years later. Like Elise has been doing his thing for Crystal Palace for a minute. Bayern and a number of clubs have probably been scouting him for time. So it's probably one, just future-proofing the squad. And also, like, depth in it, because Saliba has had the back injury and missed time. You know, Gabriel's a striker that's here for the present. Saliba kind of cuts into the present and future, but he's here for the present. He's had injuries. And you could make a case of needing a centre-half, if I'm honest with you. Like, if there's any fooling around with Benjamin White and Timber's fitness, Mosquera might have to start this season at centre-half. God forbid. But if Saliba and Gabriel, they can't, you know, they get injured, who the hell is going centre-half? So you can make a case of another one. But that's why, for me, if you could get a Timber, Tomiyasu, I don't really know specifics in it, but there'd be two options or two profiles I'd like. I would like a Livramento kind of one. You can play left back, you can play right back. We're kind of cheating the game and looking after ourselves in two roles. If you can't get that, or if you do get that, in addition, could you get a Tomiyasu, minus the injuries, but a Tomiyasu kind of player? You can play centre half, you can do a thing right back, you can do a thing left back. We've got Timber on paper, Benjamin White, at least for now, on paper. Who else is there? Calafiori, Hincapié. I'm not necessarily convinced with them as centre halves, but they can do a job, if that makes sense. DG, do you know the right back who played early in the season, Dixon? He looks really good. If we keep Ben, this kid has time to go into the first team role. I don't think he'll make the grade, but as much as I do think Arsenal need to bring through some steady eddies, if that makes sense. Like, and I think Marley Salmon is more than a steady eddy, but he's a defender. We don't really bring through defenders. Like, it's more the attackers than Wengery kind of creative kind of players. Like Miles, you could even argue Miles Lewis-Skelly's a bit of an anomaly, because when was the last time we brought through a pure centre midfielder like that, essentially? It's mainly the Wanyeris, the Dalmany kind of types. So we need some steady eddies, man. Like, if we just had you see how Chelsea got Archipong, if we just brought through a humble right back, like, he's not going to sell mad T-shirts and stuff, but he just does his job, it will help us out a lot, It will help us out a lot. So if Dixon could do it, right back's one of them positions, you get your chance, take it. Obviously, the game's changed because you're essentially a centre midfielder playing it right back now. The game's changed, but yeah, man. DJ, I feel the same. Zubi might go back. He never wanted to leave San Sebastian in the first place, but our sweet talker manager managed to sweet talk him. It depends, man. Because again, in terms of a human being, Zubamendi comes from a quiet little bit in Spain. Obviously, he's been wanted by a number of big clubs. He's come to Arsenal where we're trying to fight for a title and all of this kind of stuff. You're moving to London, of course. The club will do everything they can, to make sure you're adapting off the pitch. And you've got a couple Spanish players in and around the team. But I just think I could be wrong, because I thought Rodri was going to cut out sooner rather than later. Like, I thought, because Rodri had a shaky 6 months at City, then he became 30. So maybe like midway through his second, maybe third season, I thought, yeah, he might be one of them. He's doing well. I want to go back to Spain type of thing. If we get Bawardi and Bacola or Rodgers, I'd call that a highly successful window. Ornstein just tweeted about Livramento. He's out of the World Cup. That guy is so injury prone. It's ridiculous, bro. Horrible timing, cuz. But this is what I'm saying. On ability and the illusion and him being a tool, you can see why I want Livramento. It's just, unfortunately, injuries, plus also the Arsenal tax of injuries. But we're never going to see you kick ball, bro. You will be with Benjamin White and potentially Tim, but it just won't be on a football pitch. I liken that Somerville to Man United for 50 million to Madueke slightly in terms of overall product. Both got 12 GA last year, but Somerville had a better take on stats due to larger minutes. I think he's better than Noni, if I'm honest with you. I think it'd be a smart addition to complement the squad with Man United. Again, big up Noni. I'm not trying to make this about Noni because Somerville needs to pattern up, but Somerville strikes me as one of those players. Yeah, I'm not saying he's going to turn into Ronaldinho, but I do feel he's one of them. If he goes Man United, or more so the PSG links, pardon me, certain men play better with better players and in a better team. I know that sounds dumb, but I think he's one of those. And to be honest, 50 million, they could do a lot worse. They've done a lot worse. Salmon could do his part. We've been recruiting defenders in the academy as well. But I've got time for Marley Salmon. I just think we've got to slow cook him. Obviously, we're blessed with a number of defenders. slow cook him. It wouldn't. I wouldn't rule out him going out on loan in the next season or two. I wouldn't say not next season, but I've got high hopes for Marley Salmon, man. I do think your initial breakout will be at right back, and then eventually you'll go centre half. But we need to be a bit cute and clever, man. Like, you got to remember, like, obviously it's not the same, but Saliba around his age, or Saliba at 18 weren't the guy. Gabriel Magalhaes was probably in Croatia still, weren't the guy. So you got a slow cook. I always think you got to take a cautious approach with centre halves and strikers. Strikers tend to peak late. No, like, this is why even someone like Liam Delap, I think you're crap. Like, I don't think you're good like that at all. I do think you can score goals, you can bully, but is what it is. It wouldn't surprise me if you get to 27, 28, he might still play the same way, but he's more productive in terms of goals. Maybe we loan out Mascara and sign Laco. I wouldn't loan out Donny, man. It don't make no sense. Yo, chat, put some respect on Nonzino. I'm here for Nonny. Sorry, DG, my comment wasn't clear there. I'm also aiming towards his injury concerns. My apologies. Don't apologize, man. Appreciate you, though. Although apparently Madrid want to let Tchouaméni go, get him to the carpet. Carvajal will get Yam up in the Prem. He's all right against them slow Spanish man. Even Jesus is more technical than Ethan, Eze, Odegaard, Zubi, Trossard. He's our best young player. I believe it's a crime he wasn't playing last season. Noni had me missing Wanyeri 100%. DG Junior winning us the quad. I hope so. Madueke is not better than Ethan. If someone should go on loan, Madueke can go. 10 more likes to 100, folks. Appreciate you. DG, speaking on outgoings, do you think Morgan Rogers depends on Odegaard getting moved on? No, but I do think it would raise the question over Odegaard's long-term future. Now, if Odegaard box up his ideas and you've got... Because that's one reality people don't consider. What if you got Odegaard playing to his strengths, Eze playing to his strengths, Rogers playing to his strengths? We got bad boys, in it? Because when City had all their midfielders, nobody done all of this. Of course, couple man left and it's a drama, there's that. But naturally, you know, if Eze keeps doing what he's doing, Rogers comes in and shells it down. You've got Wanyeri and Dalman. Again, what I think people might forget, we might shift what we do in midfield. It might not be an 8.5 and 2 men in the pivot. We might have like a Bawardi, a Rice, and a Zubi or a Lewis Skelly. The things can change. And there's been radio silence with a new deal for Odegaard, essentially. So maybe it's wait and see mode. I'm going to do a video on it, but like, I think there's a couple players I think need to like show up to next season. Or need to have a good year. I think Odegaard's one of them. And I'll save the rest for another video, man. So make sure you're subscribing. If Ben White and Timber ain't fit, who do you think will play right back next season? Well, it all depends on Friday who we get first. But I'd imagine Mascara. Wouldn't surprise me if I see Rice or Zubi. If Even is going on loan, send him to Como. Yeah, Cesc Fabregas might as well do his job and help us out. I think Lewis Skelly is better than this Bawardi. Can we chat to Snake Cess on a sly and bring Nico Paz? I reckon he's going to stay at Como one more year and go back to Madrid. You know these guys, is once Real Madrid dangle the carrot of, yo, go over there, shell it down, we'll buy you back. I think he said that thing. By the way, a lot of the rhetoric against Bacola missing chances doesn't equate to his playing time or the fact he has a high assist rate for a modern winger. Fans trash him, but don't take that into account. For me, I just think Arteta would have to really polish that diamond up because, again, it's not even an ability thing. I think we've got too much man like Bacola. Like, Bacola, if you could improve your decision-making. Noni, if you could improve your decision-making. Martinelli, if you could improve your decision-making. We've got too many men like that. Like, I've said this yesterday, and I keep repeating the same thing. I don't think any of our attackers are bad players, you know. But it's like, when you're trying to win a league and you group them all together, who do you really know what you're getting from? I want Yildiz, but we're dreaming, man. We're dreaming. It won't be good to disrupt the champions' positive attitude in with an overpile up Arsenal midfield, especially in the 10 position. Yildiz and Rodgers, and we're nice. DJ, I want us to sign Bacola because he's Noni 2.0 and especially high price fee, so it's a no from me. I'm from Leeds, and the boys up here love Somerville, and they rate Tanaka as well right now. Keep an eye on. Shout out my Northern Gooners. We're everywhere, and we're outside Knicks in 5. All right, big up Arcade. Big up Leeds. Shout out Chapel Town. Have you ever been Dutch Pot? Shout out Chapel Town, man. Shout out the flannels in Chapel Town. Shout out Leeds, man. Miles Lewis Skelly is better than Tchouaméni. You lot are being stingy with the likes. They hate us, man. Livermento just got injured. Berta, stay clear, please. And that sucks. So will England call up Maguire? I don't know how it works. Like, I swear you got a standby list. For me, Maguire should be there anyways. Probably not. Probably going to go bring up another fullback, surely. You do have Spence who can cover both sides. I would bring up Maguire or Hall, if I'm honest. I had high hopes for Brook Norton-Cuffy. He's doing well at Girona. I wish we gave him some chance. He could have been a steady Eddie. Random one for you and the chat. What's the worst football injury you've had or seen live? Had? A small fracture on my ankle caused by doing a flip flap and sending someone shop and then they fell on my ankle. That's me personally. One I remember the most because I remember the sharp pain, but that's when I clocked adrenaline because somebody told me I was bleeding. I've told you before, I was playing Sunday League, and obviously you're meant to clean the Sunday League pitch in it. There was a bit of scrap metal. So obviously, long story short, I've slide tackled. And obviously, as I'm slide tackling, my face is moving across the grass. It's cut there. Worst one I've seen some madness, you know. I quite like. I've seen some madness. I've seen a fractured finger. I've seen someone pop their shoulder. I've seen a broken ankle. I've seen someone head the post and split their head open. I've seen madness. Well, so I'd say the worst one is, yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but just imagine somebody's in goal, right? Someone's in goal, and the striker's been put, like the goalie, I'm not explaining right. Let's just assume you're a striker, yeah? You're a striker, you've been put through, you see like Alisson for Brazil, Morocco, yeah? Say you're the Moroccan they've put you through on goal, the keeper's come out, but the difference is he's come out with a high boot, and that boot has hit your chest, and it's gone through your chest isn't the right way of describing it, but it did, like, you could see the stud marks, like chunks, oh, it was butters, man. The guy had to get operation, like. I'm sure he got airlifted as well. I think the worst one is I've seen someone get stabbed on a football pitch. That's about it, which isn't right. It isn't nice, and it isn't right, man. In fact, the worst one when I saw a referee get stabbed, I'm sure it's in the newspapers. New River Sports Centre. I'm sure it's in the newspapers. The Turkish man ran down the ref. Where it was horrible to see. It was horrible to witness. I'm not gonna cap. It was disgusting to witness. Like, I felt sorry for the ref, man. Like, one thing I give Turkish people, yeah, when it comes to football, they're on this, bro. Like, they were doing I think it was Fenerbahce. A bunch of them was in Fenerbahce kits. A bunch of them was in Galatasaray kits in New River, innit? And they had fireworks. They're making mad noise. And this is just man them playing. I don't know what the ref did. I'm seeing bear man chasing. And I knew he was scared. There's nothing wrong with being scared, but someone's scared. They're running in circles. It was like a Giselle, like being chased by some hungry lions, or it was like, when you watch them things about the North Pole and that the sea lion, the orcas are screaming. It was horrible, man. I've seen some shit. I've actually seen some shit. Let me take my seat. I've seen some shit on a football pitch. I'm not gonna cap. That's a good question. Well, mainly just broken ankles, dislocated shoulders, and all those kind of things. And I like keeper. Keepers are mad bastards. Like, keepers come out and they, when they come out and they jump and the knee catches someone. But I wouldn't say that's the worst. Just everyone's seen that stuff, innit? If you're talking actually seeing it, that's that. On the football pitch, there's a couple still, man. There's a couple. Worse, it's got to be Aaron Ramsey, Eduardo. Eduardo's, I don't know which one was worse. Eduardo's one was butters. Ramsey's one was butters. I might say Ramsey's because I swear Ramsey's broke and then broke again. It was horrid. Dutch Pot is the local yard shop with their love to the Turkish. We appreciate you, DG, a culture soldier. Keep up the good work. Come on, man. I love Turkish food, man. I need to chill out, though, because I'm putting on the pounds. And this is why I like football, and this is why I like society. Like, how good is society, yeah, when you've got different races, religions, backgrounds, cultures, just melting together. It's beautiful. Unfortunately, this society likes to divide people, and football mirrors society. And I think there's too much division in football as well, but you can't change the world, man. It is what it is. DJ, I want us to sign Zolis and Mika Gotts. You don't need to give up on the Mika Gotts thing. It's gone. We've already got an unknown reborn now. It's the Zolis guy. Keep Martinelli, sell Trossard. Ramsey is the worst injury I've seen. Bacola isn't what we need. If we sell Martinelli, I understand Bacola. I won't cap. That's why I'm glad we're getting Zolis. Unlike other fans, because he keeps his things simple, knows his limitations, and a killer with his GA, raises our technical level. But Ronnie, I'm cool with it. I don't know why I get the whole who is that and whatnot, but for what I see, I think it's all right. Because if this guy goes somewhere else and he does, I don't know, I'm not even saying he's going to be carrot scaler, but he beats half decent, man, I'm going to be waffling about signing him. So if he comes in, he's obviously a bit younger than Trossard. If I'm honest with you, I've kind of like Trossard, Martinelli, Noni. I know it's horrible, but we know what we're getting. I'd rather someone else. If he's an intelligent baller, I'm all for that. He looks decent, and I look at his life. it kind of correlates a number of our players, in it. Like, obviously, you'd have to ask someone Greek because I don't know, but seems like he was a wonder kid in Greece. He went Norwich. It was too early. He went on loan to Holland. It didn't work. He'd been on loan to Dusseldorf in the second division in Germany. Kind of rebuilt himself. Gone Club Brugge. Got some Champions League experience. That's what's put him in the shop door. And he arrives back to these shores, you know, a dramatically better player at 24 years of age than when he arrived in England at 19. So I'm all for it, people. And again, I know it's not the same, but if these are the men that, if Brentford, Bournemouth, Brighton sign, they start ruining your football club and taking 3 points. Everyone starts saying they're a baller. So I'm on that. And I think we can learn from last season. By obviously, granted, if we only sign him and there's no Rodgers, there's no Bukola, there's no this one, there's no that one, then we can have conversations. But I don't think that is the level raiser. I think that is just, it's a market opportunity. We're getting that one done. That's someone to mix and blend in the squad. The other ones are forwarding. When they forward, I don't know. I would loan Wanyeri to Como, sweeten the deal for Nico Paz, bring him back next season as a starter. Bukola isn't a bad player by any means, but I'm tired of wingers like him. I say this all the time. People like Bukola, like, let's just say, assume this is his playing level, yeah? If the penny drops, and you could say this with, I'm going to say, right, Noni Madueke, Marcus Rashford, Martinelli, Bukola, what's the one at Newcastle, man? What's that one, man? The Blackie, Sweden, Alanga. There's bare guys like this where this is their level, yeah. They're not bad footballers technically. They can put their fullbacks on skates. But if the penny drops with decision making, all the obvious that we've been discussing, if the penny drops in that regard, yeah, they go up here. If that doesn't happen, whether they have strong goal scoring seasons or not, I promise you, from now to the end of their playing days, they're just going to do this. They're just going to do this, which is why there's certain men I just accept as squad players in this team. And I need that to kind of decrease. And the same way I feel about our defenders, I want to feel about our attackers. Bukola, Noni. Well, true, yeah. I don't want to keep shitting on Noni because I actually like Noni. I actually don't. As mad as it is, I still wouldn't have bought him. But I see the method to the madness. And I actually like the way he handles himself. But you're a man, I'm going to accept you for what you are. Like, you need to show me your decision-making is improving. I don't really want to keep having these conversations because I think you're a bit too experienced. And for me, once you cross, not that you can't get better, but once you cross the border of 23, 24, 25, now is that weird mucky time. Whereas if the penny ain't dropped, the penny should have dropped 20 million years ago. If it ain't dropped now, raw, Chris White for that. England are coming on real soon. It's coming on, mate. Less of that. I had my MCL done and worst feeling ever. Also, not gonna lie, when the footy hits the balls, I was seeing gates of heaven. Yeah, no, a football hitting your balls is horrible. One of the worst feelings in the winter. You see if a ball hits your like thigh, that hurts. Someone stepping on your toe and your ankle, that's horrible. That's nasty. I'm not gonna cap. That's nasty. Yeah, I like doing that though. I like stepping on the heels of a winger or on their toes. It's nothing personal. It's just I want to see if you're a pussy, innit? Because if you're a pussy, that means you don't want to take me on anymore. The quicker that I do my job, the quicker I can be the failed winger that I am as a fullback and just run forward and neglect defending, innit? So yeah, man. Love the chat. Ross Clark, that's a madness. The worst I've seen, Domino get slide tackled from behind and snapped their shin. I heard this. Oh my God. There's a I can't remember what part of the body it is, yeah, but it happens in football. It might be the MCL or the ACL, whatever, yeah, but there's a pop. Like when I think it's your MCL, I think it's your knee. I've heard that. That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. I wouldn't say that's the most gruesome thing I've seen on a football pitch, but I've been there and heard the, and next thing you know, my man can't play football again. 2 worst tackles I've ever seen, Ramsey and Eduardo. I feel like Diaby had one as well. Eduardo's injury still pisses me off. Cisse leg break was oh my God, Cisse's one. Yeah. He had a couple though. Oh my God, his was manky, man. And I wonder how you feel because you can't panic in that situation. You're gonna panic, but you can't panic in that situation. Eduardo, Ramsey, and Diaby kicking Terry was crazy. We got a lot of trauma, guys, especially the OGs. Musiala in the Club World Cup. Yeah, his leg bent backwards. There's some horrible stuff, man. Appreciate you, our kid. Reason I said what I said about Bukola DG with playing time, playing in the attacking third, his confidence-based position, and a lot of his career. I can't lie. I think Bukola's got the tools, bro. But the penny needs to drop. And again, I don't want to be this guy, but it would look like a masterclass if you sign him and he scores them chances. He'd be one of the best left wingers. It's a masterclass. And I'm not saying that can't happen, but why I don't really give time to it is if there was a reality where Martinelli, whether it's Martinelli or Arteta, but all the things we talk about with Nelly, if he patterned that up, or Noni he signed and his decision making's improved, I would be more on, yeah, all right, cool. I've seen the track record. For me, I just think and admittedly I'm a hypocrite because I'll buy Bacola, so it's a bit of an exception to the rule. But for me, I do think we kind of you need to polish these gems in it. Like you need to wash these potatoes before you go to the shop and buy more in it. Can Rodgers do something for me on the wing? 100%. Hey, Jalen, where you been, man? You've been missing. Solis seems like a very live option off the bench. True, and I wouldn't be surprised if he plays a lot of football because imagine we only sign Rodgers and Solis, then them man they're gonna get football. I'm all for it. DG, my signings for us are Bawardi, Zolis, and Gotts, or we tried to sign Vinny Jr. You lot need to. The Vinny Jr. thing, I respect it. And I want to be proven wrong. I want to sit here and you lot say, oh, DG, I told you so. I have a bit of optimism, man. You lot know in your heart of hearts, for a variety of reasons, that's not happening. Yeah, it was nasty. Tino is injury. I think you mean injury prone. Why would Arsenal sign an injury prone player? Knee on knee is painful. A strike to the ear by the ball in the winter. Getting hit in the face is crazy. One of the, I wouldn't say worst feelings, but one of the most nostalgic feelings that's just come to mind here is getting hit in the face when it's raining with that yellow sponge ball, or you see a football that's like the things are all ripped off. Getting hit in the face with that, it's a humbling experience. For me, I don't want us to sign Rodgers because he's similar to Eze, plus he'll block His game time. Cream always rises. Bring him. I need him, man. The step on the toes is horrible, man. But what's worse, though? Step on the toes or step on the heel? I think it's the heel, you know? Because I hate that one. The toe one's horrible as well. I think it's the heel. Which team signed Gotts? No one at the moment. Too cool. The fraud called Chalobah up over MLS and HOA. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. You lot are trolling me. You know what? Can't hate the player, hate the game. Chalobah, I'm happy for you because everyone wants to play the World Cup. I guess Tuchel knows you from his Chelsea days. It's not fucking coming home, is it? True. Luckily, the guy I'm talking about can kick ball again, but he's got that thing where he doesn't trust his body to go 100%, even though he's fine. I'll be real. I'm very cautious about signing guys from the Dutch league. I was having that conversation with my friend, yeah. And then he said to me, what? So what about Suarez? And I said, I hear that, but where the Suarez is at? The idea of someone blocking someone's path in the first team baffles me. It's either you have source or not. Yeah, that new shirt that's coming out, I'm on it. The craziest leg break I've seen was Marcelo on Luciano Sanchez, total accident. There's someone forgetting, you know, because in football, there's actually been some freak injuries, some very freak injuries. Tonali is a total midfielder, an EPL proven for years now, and if he joins us, he'll elevate his performance for a team, Champions team, unlike Newcastle. Bawardi is good, but reminds me of Guendouzi. He's everything I thought Guendouzi was. Love my guy. Been celebrating the league and away on holidays. Where you been on holiday? Big up yourself, Jalen, man. And I have to give it to Jalen because he's why I have these platforms. We've agreed on a lot. We've disagreed on a lot. Him in particular, you saw me losing my faith at the last turn. The last turn. And I thought you lot were gaslighting me. So yeah, big up you lot, man. Oh, mate. What a season that was. Arsenal fans, we went through a lot, you know. Even though, like when you deep it, 2 finals, 1 Prem, Southampton chatting shit, injuries. I still think the most standout moment from last season weren't even technically in the Prem. I remember the crash in that when we lost that North London derby in Singapore, wherever it was. They're crashing out, I saw on this YouTube channel. And I think a lot of it was because we're pissed off with the transfer market, but they're crashing out that went on display. If we're going to go all out on a winger, I'm taking Diamande and Vinny, DG. Bro, if we could get Vinny, I'm on that. I do like what Diamande could be, you know. My stance is changing on him. Because 2 days ago, I said, you know what? I do rate him. I do rate what I've seen in Germany. I like what he's doing for Ivory Coast. If I was a scout or a decision maker, then I would probably fall in the camp of, I like him, but I'd pass. He'd go somewhere else, and I would think, what if? I am starting to rate his thing now. I'm not going to lie. Scooter to the hill. You know, I think one of the worst feelings is a brain freeze. That is one feeling in life I hate. Okay, so Livramento is confirmed he's not rolling. Boy. Come on, England. Neon Knee's not even that bad, man. It hurts, but you lot are gassing it. You lot are pussycats. I can't lie. Method to the madness is a bit lenient. I'm trying, man. Toe is way worse. At halftime, your toe's just bleeding through your socks. Ankle twist is the worst, DJ, and it never goes away. I told you England is coming home. Diamande stats off the chart for modern wingers. Only real worry is he could convert a lot more chances he creates. Decision, he could just get fine-tuned. England going to be on the plane by the 30th. Like, man. Oh, what the fuck? I got an elbow in the game and lost a couple teeth. Don't worry, boys. I got my get back. Plus, the ref gave a red card roll with the punches. DG, give us your perfect summer window if you had control of the books and you can go and buy the players in who are you getting and why. Morgan Rogers, I think it makes sense. Morgan Rogers. I can't lie, I'm sniffing around Creepy, you know. Morgan Rogers, Creepy. Get me a centre mid. Get me Bawardi. Get the Monga thing done. If there's an extra 30 million going, I'm going to go to Anderlecht, get Nathan the Cat. You can stay over there on loan, or you can come somewhere else. You're more of a long-term signing. Pardon me, I want 2 goalies. I know it sounds mad. I want 2 goalies. Go and get me a Scott Castle or something. Someone just happy to be third choice. I know it's easier said than done, but go and get me a second choice. I only say that because I think Kepa is cutting, and Tommy Setford could do it. I genuinely think Tommy Setford's a good prospect. I'm not saying he's going to make it at Arsenal. I don't know that, but I think you need to be going and playing men's football. Academy football and all this stuff is not helping you. A right back, I wouldn't have a name, but I'd have to ask Berta what our scouting department's saying. But if you could find me a right back that could, like a Tomiyasu kind of one, you could play right back, left back, centre half. I'm kind of cool, you know. I'm actually cool. And then it's just outgoings, man. Like the obvious ones. Like I wouldn't actually even force Norgard out because really, you're good for the dressing room. You're cool here. It is what it is. You're not breaking the wage bill. If you want to leave, then cool, you can cut. And find a good loan spell for Wanyeri. What else? I'm missing something else. Jesus, Nelson, Fabio Vieira. It goes without saying. Brain freeze is horrible, man. Horrible. DG, when is the best time to come off Marino? 1 more year. 1 more year of Marino, man. Would you take Jed? Yeah, I would, you know, for the squad. For the squad. Just for that role. I would, you know. Who would you sell, Trossard or Martinelli? Honest to God, both. I think there's pros and cons to either leaving. I think if we're trying to do this right now thing, Trossard's giving us a bit more. I know Martinelli's had some moments this season, but it's still more of the same. A part of me does feel Martinelli goes somewhere else, and it's not necessarily that he's going to improve, but I do think he starts scoring and assisting, and we start thinking, what if? I'd probably more sell Trossard. He's older. Tomiyasu's available. He's never going to be fit, though, man. I love Tommy to bits, but yeah, man. He's not on nothing. He's not on nothing, man. So, yeah, unfortunately. Bro, we've been here for basically 2 hours. The might of football, yeah. We've been here for 2 hours, people. I know I'm boring you lot, people. It's been amazing. Time flies when you're having fun. As usual, big up the chat. I'll be back at 7:50 because we're going to watch France-Senegal together. So, yeah, man, obviously the transfer part of this video will be cut up and clips will be cut up and whatnot. But as usual, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And of course, in some cases, good night. Appreciate you lot. God bless you and your loved ones. And we'll link up again. Hopefully, in the next 24 hours, we sign someone. But yeah, subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate those who have. Smash the like button if you haven't. Appreciate those who have. Peace.